Hello again, my friends, all over the world, wherever you are. Today I'm going to make a special juice with sunflower sprouts, 2 bunches of dill, and a few other ingredients. Let's look at my other ingredients. Now, in addition to my dill, I have some cucumber, garlic, ginger, 1 medium-sized beet, some parsley, which is very difficult to shred, and turmeric, plus carrots, and 1 head of romaine lettuce. So let's make some juice, and I'm going to start with my celery. Now, as usual, I'm going to plug in my thermometer and start with 3 ice cubes to cool down my cutter. I'm going to start with my celery, which is generally very difficult to shred. Feed it in slowly, never drop it in, feed your produce in. Let's do a bunch of dill. Turmeric, let's do our beet next. Now for the parsley and then the ginger. Parsley is very fibrous. Ice cubes are over 20 degrees centigrade again. The rest of my turmeric. A little more ginger. And my garlic. After my garlic, I'll put in my cucumber, which was too big, so I had to quarter it. Cucumber tends to clear out your shoot, so feed it in very carefully and be sure to keep your feed tube covered. Next we'll put the romaine lettuce in. Put half a head at a time. Next, I'm going to start feeding in my sunflower sprouts. But first, we're going to have to cut them out of the soil. Put half of a box full at a time. Rotate your bowl. Down to the last of my greens. And what I'm going to do now is feed in 2 carrots. And when you have narrow carrots like mine, you can put them end to end. Get 2 carrots at a time in. Now after I feed 2 carrots in, I'm going to clean my grid that I'm using for greens. Remove my grid that I'm using for greens, typically called the J grid or the juicing grid. And you can see how much fiber even sunflower sprouts have. You wouldn't think sunflower sprouts had a lot of fiber, but it does. Then I'm going to clean my feed tube and start with my carrots, but I'm going to use the number 2 grid, 1/8 inch holes for carrots. And I'll clean that grid later. So let's start with carrots. Carrots. want to remind you, when you push your last carrot through, there's always a plug of carrot or some other produce in here. So take some pulp, put it in the feed tube, and force that last plug through, and then clean your feed tube. Pull out the thermometer, clean the grid, and then we're going to mix our produce and make some juice. Of course, the next thing to do is to mix the carrot pulp with all the greens pulp. And I want to remind you again that whenever you have carrots in your mix, you do not need to use bamboo liners to prevent pulp from sticking to the cloth. For some reason, carrots combined with greens will not stick to your cloth. So rotate your bowl in both directions. Get a really, really good mix. Now I'm going to start making juice, and a little tip. When you have your cloths in your folding container, a Pyrex baking dish, pull it over the countertop so you minimize the amount of touching of your cloths to your counter. You never know how clean your counter is. So let's start with 3 scoops of pulp. And I'm going to show you my less work 6 cloth method. Turn this over, fold it, turn this over, flatten it. As tight a package as possible, and put that aside, and we're going to press 2 cloths full at once. 3 spoons full. As tight a package as you can get it, the tighter the better. We'll take these first 2 cloths, put them in the tray, centered left to right, centered front to back, all the way back. Back it off a little bit because you do not want that to go up too fast. And then we'll continue preparing more cloths with pulp. And in a moment I'm going to show you my less work 6 cloth method. When I get down to my last cloth, I'll advance that press all the way, set this aside, advance that all the way. This goes forward, this goes over, the spent cloths go on top, 2 more cloths in the tray, centered left to right, centered front to back, all the way back it off a little bit. And because I have a puddle of juice in my collection bowl, I'm going to take the pulp, not throw it away, crush it up, put it in the puddle of juice in the bowl, and continue with 3 more scoops. That's one method. Putting the pulp back into the bowl. The other method is to leave the pulp in the cloth and put only 2 scoops on top, and later only 1 scoop when this gets thicker. This goes forward, this goes over. I should have advanced that, we'll do it now. This goes on top, 2 more cloths in the tray. Centered left to right, centered front to back, all the way back it up. Because I have a puddle of juice here, I'm going to very carefully pour this into the collection bowl. As I've mentioned before, the first time I did this, I got it all over my countertop. And again, keep your eye on the bowl. It's getting very full. I don't want that to overflow. This time, 2 scoops on top. Set it aside. When I'm on my last cloth, advance that all the way. Keeping my eye on the bowl, it's getting very, very full. And 2 scoops on top. Because that bowl is full, I'm going to stop that. Get our last cloth going here, flatten it. This goes forward, that goes over, the spent cloths go on top. To prevent this from dripping on my countertop, I'm going to set it back, not a little, but a lot. And we'll put this into some bottles. I'll fill this from the back side so the camera can get a good look. I'm going to leave 10% for filtered or distilled water. And let's make some more juice. Flatten that, set it aside. This goes forward, that goes over. The spent piles go on top, and because my bowl is full, we're going to fill more bottles. And to prevent this from dripping on my counter, I'm going to set it back, but not a little, enough that it's obvious. So, more bottles. Now what I'm going to do with this spent pulp is I'm going to repackage it into a tight package. A nice tight round ball. Press it again to show you how the Whole Health Foundation model, the premium model juicer, can get over 10% more juice from your pulp. And it's the juice in the last 10% of your press that's the most valuable. So we'll turn it upside down, flatten that side. Now as you can see, I've repackaged all of the spent pulp into a tighter package. And I'm going to press it again to show you how much more juice we can get using a Whole Health Foundation premium model juicer. The premium model juicer has a solid bottom plate and other premium parts that have a lifetime warranty. 5 ounces, but let's put in 2 more repackaged cloves. It's going to be a tight fit. Again, centered left to right, front to back, very important. You notice how I can reach in all directions to straighten that. Get that package right in the center, all the way back, back it off a little bit. Actually, let's put it all the way back, and when I get juice flow, I'll back it off. There we go, back it off a little bit. That's a little bit more. And then all the way. So far I've got 17 ounces of juice. That's that all the way. Looks like 18. And my container is going to overflow if I go any further. So I'm going to stop it here. Looks like about 19 extra ounces of juice. I'll set that back and pour this into the collection container and fill more bottles. As you can see, in this session I got 5, 10, 14 bottles of juice plus enough for a taste test. And remember, about 1.5 of these bottles was from pressing the already spent pulp, and we got over 10% more juice. So we'll do a taste test now. Now we'll do a taste test, and this was mostly sunflower sprouts with 2 bunches of dill and a variety of other vegetables. Let's give it a taste test. Well, I definitely taste the dill and the sunflower. Very delicious. I hope you like what you've seen. And if you'd like to call me, my phone number is 760-753-0321. My email address is developtrust@cox.net. And my webpage is wholehealthfound.com. See you in the next video.